is the worst case scenario? What would be a pessimistic approach? The blue hat is all about controlling the process and seeing things through step by step. The yellow hat is about being positive, optimistic, and logical in our approach. The red hat is about feeling, intuition, and emotion. And the green hat is all about creativity. So it may be in a meeting, we could start by using the white hat of presenting the facts. Then maybe we'd use the green hat in terms of generating ideas on how we could handle a particular case. Then we'd apply the yellow hat to evaluate the benefits and list the merits. Finally, or not finally, then we'd go to the red hat to get gut feelings about alternatives. We may want to apply the black hat just in case there's something we're missing. Finally, we could summarize and adjourn the meeting. This is a way of deliberately adopting a variety of perspectives that may be different to the ones we naturally assume. The hats are indicative of both emotion and perception. Emotions are an essential part of our thinking ability and not something that just mucks up our thinking. One thinking style or hat is not inherently better than another. A full balanced team recognizes the need for all hats in order for the team to consider all aspects of what they are facing. That's a quote from Edward de Bono himself. The benefits are we're able to share perspectives freely without judgment. We have a convenient mechanism for switching gears and a way to improve communication and decision making. So if we don't like what someone on the team is saying, we could simply suggest, let's switch gear and apply the yellow hat. Or we've talked a lot about the red focus, but let's go to the black hat now and see what the downside of things might be. If you look at a problem using the 6 thinking hat technique, you'll be able to use all approaches to develop the best solution. Your decisions and plans will mix ambition, skill and execution, sensitivity, creativity, and good contingency planning. The next tool for innovation is mind mapping. Mind mapping is an exciting tool to stimulate lateral thinking. It helps us to use the left brain, but then draw on the right brain. If you're looking for good reading, read some of the books of Daniel Pink. These next 2 slides were created for me by Britta Hansen. Britta is a specialist in mind mapping and facilitated a fabulous workshop here at Thomas International for a cross-functional team. We thoroughly enjoyed her approach, which is both logical and highly creative, and are still using her techniques today. So it's really a whole brain alternative to the linear thinking that we usually do, where we go from step 1, step 2, step 3 in a very straight line. It's a very innovative way of organizing our thoughts and coming up with a meaningful way of capturing our thoughts. You can see in the next slide, courtesy of Britta, we've actually got a mind map for all of us to have a look at and learn from. It's not only really neat in terms of color and creativity, but it's also a useful tool to talk about transformational thinking. So thank you, Britta, and for those of you that would like to reach Britta, her website is listed on this slide. You can call me for a reference, but I can highly recommend Britta Hansen in terms of mind mapping. She's an absolute specialist. I must say my mind maps are not looking quite as great as hers, but I am using different colors, and it is really evolving. It's something you can go back to, you can build on, and definitely gives you a new and creative way for looking at things. For those of you that are looking for some tips for sparking creativity on your team, you can log on to the website listed here, but I think these are some really great ideas. It starts with recruiting people that are positive and have a passion for learning. We want to make teamwork fun and engaging, establish a climate of openness where diverse viewpoints can be respected and given, constantly collect new ideas and circulate among the team, and last but not least, really celebrate our successes and breakthroughs. Very important, when we do have a breakthrough or a success, let's celebrate that, because that is how we build on innovation. Our last topic for the webinar is how do we assess innovation? And I must say, I would love to think we could tie innovation directly and absolutely into the Thomas assessment tools. There is some overlap, but we cannot tie this directly in and say, if you have a certain disc factor, you will be more innovative than if you don't. Something interesting that I did some research and didn't find tools for innovation. If any of you listening in know of an assessment tool that is reliable and valid in assessing innovation, I'd love to hear from you. I've come up with a couple of ideas that will help you assess innovation in your company and in potential candidates or high potentials that you're looking to promote. I think there's 3 key questions when we're assessing innovation. And the first one is to assess what is your organization's culture and commitment to innovation. What level are you at? If you remember that previous slide with the triangle, are you at the strategic level where innovation is built into the heart of your business and you have a culture of innovation? Are you at the tactical level, or are you still at the underdeveloped level and maybe even paying lip service to innovation? Based on the level of your culture, that will determine the kinds of people that you would like to hire that will align with your business. Secondly, you need to determine how innovation looks in action in your company. The following 3 questions will help you to answer that. What specific innovation experience are you looking for in candidates or promotable high potentials? What are the specific innovation competencies you would like to see, and how will you hire and develop these? The third question, also critical, is what kind of management support is available to the innovative individual if you bring them into your organization. Now, in terms of applying the DISC model to innovation, this download that will be available tomorrow on the client resource site gives you some indication of DISC styles in terms of innovation, strengths, and opportunities. So you can use this fact sheet in terms of preparing a team for an innovative session. It gives us some of the strengths and opportunities that each behavioral style is likely to experience, and as the leader of a team, helps us to support and stimulate each individual on our team. So feel free tomorrow to take this and download it and use it in your team building workshops. If you're simply planning to get the most out of each of your employees and give them a very rewarding performance review, this can be highly useful in that context as well, because it's all about supporting the DISC style in terms of their strengths, and then being aware of some of those blind spots or opportunities that may impede innovation. The last slide that we have available is all about an innovation quiz. This is a free download that you'll be able to download tomorrow on our client resource site. Just to give you an example of what this is about, it's a quiz with 20 statements. And I've built this from the key qualities, skills, and attributes of innovative people at work. During my research and reading about innovation, I've determined 20 key items that seem to contribute to a comfort level or experience with innovation. Now, the important thing here is this quiz is not reliable, it's not validated, but it certainly can stimulate some interesting discussion in a team setting, in a development setting, and even if you're wanting to use it with a candidate for discussion, it can certainly stimulate some excellent discussion points. I've given you some examples of the statements. There are 20 statements in total, and the idea is that the individual can answer these in terms of a rating scale of 1 to 5. 1 being that I'm highly uncomfortable with this particular skill or competency, 5 being I am highly comfortable. And it ranges from all those skills, qualities, attributes that I've discovered along the way in